Please support the players, coaches, and officials in a positive manner. Comments of a sexist, racial, or ethnic nature or other intimidating actions will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the gymnasium. Please be aware of the possibility of a ball on the player entering the bleachers. Thank you, and please enjoy the match. Junior number 4, Macy Stewart. Senior number 20, Lauren Carlson. Senior number 23, Abigail Ridgeway. Sophomore number 24, Jillian Schmidt. And senior number 30, Tori Creighton. The Eagles are coached by Kelsey Wall. And now for your Immanuel answers. Senior number 2, Grace LaDuke. Junior number 3, Gwen Thurgle. Senior number 4, Leah Thompson. Junior number 5, Emma Starling. Senior number 12, Gabby Radical. And senior number 13, Kenzie King. The Lancers are coached by Joe Rao, assisted by Megan Johnston.
Hello and welcome to today's matchup between the Immanuel Lutheran Lancers and the Alma-Pepin Eagles. Lancers still with a perfect record in conference 2-0 after a 5-set thriller on Tuesday night. 5-2 their overall record as the Eagles will start us off. Serving will be number 30, Creighton for the Eagles. Set for Thompson, good touch over, but just out of play. And the Eagles strike first with a 1-0 lead. And once again, it's Creighton back to serve for the Eagles. Off the hands of LaDuke and out of play. An ace for the Eagles, and they go up 2-0. And that one heads into the net, so after an ace, sends one short. And the Lancers gonna head back to serve, starting off with number 2, LaDuke. Chance to tie this one up. And that one into the net. Gonna send it right back to the Eagles. Heading back to serve for the Eagles will be number 20, Carlson. To the back, received by Gergel. Thompson across for Radical. Off her hands and into the stands. 3-2. The Lancers bring it back within 1. And now Thompson back to serve for the Lancers. To the back, touched off the hands of number 24, Schmidt. That's an ace for Thompson to tie it up at 3. And now it's Thompson back with a chance for the lead. Good spot, dug up on the run, into the net. And the Lancers up 4-3 here in the first set. Lancers struggled in the early parts of the first, second, third, fourth set in that game against Gilmanton. Pulled it together in the fifth. Trying to get started early here. Straight center. Gonna set one up on the run for Stewart. Radical will save it. Gonna be set back center. Radical on the run. Good touch over the net, but just out of play. Inch off on the sideline, and we're tied back up at 4. And it'll be Carlson now back to serve for the Eagles, trying to retake a lead for them. Received by Leduc. Set across for Radical once again. And she'll knock down her second kill. 5-4, the Lancers with a 1-point lead. Bartles now entering in for Koenig and Quaid for Gurgle. And it'll be Bartles who will head back to serve. Good spot, touch back in the air. Gonna set one back row. Over the net to Radical. Set once again for Radical. That's 3! A laser off the hands of Carlson. And the Lancers up 2. To the back, received by Carlson. Going to set one back on the run. And just touched over. Dug up by Bartles. Set up center for Quaid. Diving save, gets it back in the air. And touch to the back. Bartles there once again. Thompson a chance for a clean set. Radical drops down another. 7-4 and the Lancers up 3. And an early timeout by the Eagles. 7-4. Lancers with a 3-point lead. And we are back for the timeout. 7-4, a 3-point Lancer lead. Radical already with 4 kills on the night, with Bartles back serving. Received high off the hands of Carlson. Sent back high and just bumped over. Radical receives it down the line. Set once again for Radical. Good touch. And then Eagles are going to be in the net. And the Lane's just going to go up by 4. Skimming off the top of the net, and tipped out of play. An ace for Bartles, and the Lancers go up 5. To the back, off the hands of Carlson, set back up on the run for Stewart. Off the hands of Radical, set up for Radical. And she'll knock one down in the corner. 5 kills for Radical. And the Lancers up 6. Lunging save, going to set one back on the run. To the back, Bartles is there. Thompson sends one back high. Up for Radical. Off the hands of Carlson, set back on the run for Stewart. Lunging save, set up for Radical. Tipped high again by Stewart. And Eagles in the net. Lancers go up 7. And Bartles will send one into the net to break the run, but the Lancers maintain a 6-point lead. 11-5 as 37-11. Sterry and Boxa will enter, with number 11 Boxell heading back to serve. To the corner, received by Radical. Thompson back up for Quaid. Fading away, touched at the net. Dug up and set back row. And over the net, touched out of play. And the Eagles bring it within 4. Sorry, 5. Radical there, going to set up for her on the run. Good touch over the net. Set back across for Stewart. And blocked at the net by Radical. And touched off the net. Goes down as 4 hits, and the Lancers retake a 6-point lead with Radical back to serve. Touched close, diving save by Boxell, and touched over by Stewart. Thompson across for Leduc on the run. Sent right back to the Lancers side, but out of play. 13-6. Received in the back, running over to help, going to send it back into play, and touched over by Sterry. Thompson back up for Quaid again. She'll knock one down on the line, her second of the night, and the Lancers now up 8. Down the line, running save back to Lancers side. Quaid sends one right back, and the Lancers lead is 9. Back once again is Radical. The back line sends one high. Box comes over to help. On the run and into the net. That was Carlson as the lead grows to double digits, 16-6. Straight center, close to that net. Going to be touched right back by Quaid. Saved by the Eagles and sent back up. On the run, Stereo send it over. Bartles there. Thompson set on the run for Leduc. And Leduc sends one down center. But in the net. 17-6 as the Eagles get it back. And it'll be number 4, Stewart back to serve. Dug up by Radical. Gonna set one across for Leduc. That one gonna count! Sends it right back, and the Lancers up 10. And now Starlin back to serve for the Lancers. That one goes long, and it's going right back to the Eagles. Back to serve will be Schmidt. Received by Radical. Set back for Quaid. Blocked at the net. Tipped back in the air by Thompson. Radical on the run back in the air. And Starling gets it over. Set up center. Hammers it down off the hands of Radical. And the lead down to 8. Received center by Radical. Starlin sends one back. Luke from blue line. Gonna get one over. Touched back on the run. Good spot. Starlin is there. Quaid back across for Thompson. Touches the net. Diving save. Set back off the net by Boxell. And touched over once again. Received by Radical. Big chance for the Lancers here. Set up for Leduc. Tipped to the net and drops down. Lancers back up 9. Starlin now in for Quaid. Gurgle back in for Quaid, and it'll be Gurgle back to serve. Diving save, going to touch it back off the net for Sterry. Down the line, good save by Radical, back in the air. Thompson blocked at the net, and drops down in front of Bartles. 18-10, and the Eagles get it back. And now Creighton back to serve for the Eagles. Dug up by Radical. Set up center for Bartles. Blocked at the net, saved by Starland. Radical retreats to get it. Bartles once again to the back line and drops it down. Perfect spot from Bartles. And the Lancers up 9. Eagle letter in for Bartles. And it's Leduc back to serve. To the back, touch tie. Back across on the run for Ridgeway. Offensive gurgle, no one there. And the Eagles bring it back with an 8. To the back, received by Starland. Thompson back up for Radical. Blocked at the net. Tipped back in the air by Koenig. Not quite high enough for anyone to get under it. And the lead cut down to 7. To the back off the hands of Starland. And miscommunication in the back. Gurgle and Leduc both went for it. Ended up cutting off at the last second as the lead now down to 6. Carlson back once again in a 6-point game. Off the hands of Leduc, off the ceiling. Thompson readjusting, gets it back over. Back up on the run. Touched over by Stewart. Thompson put one up for Radical. Good touch down the line. And Eagles in the net. 20-13, it's a 7-point game. And they're going to send in Seibel for Leduc. Thompson back to serve with a 7-point lead. Lets it go, and that one out by a few inches on the back line. Sends it right back to the Eagles within 6. And back to serve for the Eagles will be Carlson. Into the net, going right back to the Lancers. Up by 7. Bartles and Quaid in for Koenig and Gurgle. Receive center and bump back. Stewart will touch it to the back. Bartles is there. Thompson clean set for Radical. Drops down another. Number 7. And the Lancers up 8. Bartles back to serve. Lancers just 3 points away from taking the first set. Receive center close to that. Quaid sends it right back onto the back line. Lancers now just 2 points away. Receives in the back on the run. Going to send him back into play close to the net. Can't get it back over off the net. 24-14, a 10-point Lancer lead as Larson going to enter for Starland. Just over the net, diving save, going to send him back in the air and touched over. Radical on the run, back high for Radical on a standstill and into the net. 24-15. Eagles going to need 9 straight to keep this one going. 37-11. Sterry and Boxall both in, with Boxall back to serve. Received by Radical. Larson on the run, can't get it out of play. An ace for the Eagles, and they're within 8. To the back, Radical sets one up. Thompson on the run, sends that one way too far back. And the Eagles trying to keep themselves alive, now within 7. Dug up by Radical. Thompson trying to save it off the net. And back through the net by Quaid. Now a 6-point game. Received by Seibel's shoulder. Set back for Quaid. Touched over, sent right back across for Stewart. Right into the hands of Quaid. Set back up for Radical center. High to the ceiling. Running save. And into the net. 25-18. Lancers win it by 7 here in the first set. We'll be back for set 2 in about 3 minutes. By Keyshaw, Bartles is there. Jumps it up for Radical. Hesitates, but it didn't touch it over. Keyshaw read it. Received it cleanly. Back to her, tipped it from that. Radical's going to poke it back in the air. Luke sends it back up to Radical. Gets it back and move over. Diving save, going to send him across. Radical's there. Jumps it back up for Radical. And she'll knock down the back, Virgil's there. Time for Radical. Blocked at the net by Katie. Johnson over the net. Received by Radical. Drops it back up for Radical. Radical right down the line. Puts him up high. Back to Sarah. Going to be sent up on his side. Anyway, Radical to the comes out of nowhere and drops to the back line. Run over, Virgil's there. Thompson up for Radical. Block it back. Received by Radical. Thompson sets it up for Radical. Good touch. Right on the line. And the Lancers go offline. Center to the back. Receive. Set up, falls down. Running save, she gets it over. Radical's there. Set across for Thompson. Drops it down! Drops it a kill! And the Lancers up 1! Tag back to serve. Lofts one up, running save by Radical. Starling across for Thompson. Thompson knocks one down! Another big kill from Thompson! To the back, sent across. Back into play. And bumped over. Received by Radical. Starling across for Leduc at the net. Blocked, tipped by Radical. Save. And out to the Lancers side. Lands on the net and rolls down. And we're tied again. Tipped over. Lunging save by Radical. Starling back up for Thompson again. Good touch off the net. And onto the Fairchild side. 27-26. Thompson does it again. Thunder came back. We're in the way extra points. 27-26. Luke for the win. And we are back for the second set. Leduc back to serve after the Lancers won the first one. Set across on the run for Carlson. Right into the hands of Starlin. Set back across for Radical. And she'll knock down number 8. Lancers taking an early 1-0 lead, and it's Leduc back to serve once again. Good spot, dug up. Sends one center. Tipped at the net by Leduc. Not Leduc. Koenig, but drops down. Ties the game right back up at 1. And now Creighton back to serve for the Eagles. To the back, Starlin is there. Set across for Radical. High off the hands of Schmidt. Set back row, and Gurgle's there. Leduc back across. Radical, good touch to the back corner. Lines one high, back across, touch to the net. Gurgle with a save, Starlin with a save. Back across for Radical, and she'll drop that one down. And did that hit the light? Bounced off the light switch and turned off the back lights. Croft right over there to turn them right back on. Lancers up 2-1, and it's Thompson back to serve. Receive center close to the net, into the net. And the Lancers up 3-1. Down the line off the lights, touch back up high at the net, good touch over. Sterling lets it go, but onto the sideline as the lead cut back down to 1. And it'll be Carlson now back to serve. Set high by the Duke. Thompson across for Radical. To the corner. Lau couldn't see it because it was jumping out of play. Fairly certain that was out, and yes, it was. Ties the game right back up at 3. To the corner, received by Leduc. Back across for Radical. Knocks down one! Onto the line, and the Lancers now up 1. Quaid will enter in for Gurgle. And it'll be Bartles back to serve. Receive center, gonna set one back on the run. And that one gonna go long. Lancers now up 2 with Bartles back once again. To the back and let it go. And out on the back line by a few inches. Brings the game back within 1 as Carlson heads back to serve. Dug up by Bartles, close to the net, sent right back on the run. All the Lancers came up to the net and just touching all over their heads. Now we're tied at 5. And it'll be Carlson now with a chance to give the Eagles a lead. Received by Radical. Thompson up for Quaid off the net. Saved once again. Stilson back across on the run. Blocked at the net, but onto the Lancer side. Eagles take a 1-point lead, 6-5. Sliding save by Leduc, set back up for Quaid. Blocked at the net. Bartles on the run, can't get it. 7-5 and the largest lead of the night for the Eagles. Sent high, Thompson on the run for Radical. Back to the Lancers side, and Thompson's there. Close to the net, Quaid blocked. Radical there. Thompson back across. Quaid finishes it off with a lift at the net. Seven to 6, a 1-point Lancer lead. No, 1-point Eagle lead. Sliding over, going to set one back. Down to the corner and out of play. Ties the game up at 7. Radical trying to give the Lancers a lead once again. That'll be an ace off the hands of Carlson. 8-7, the Lancers back up by 1. Dug up in the back, and a set one up center. And that one out of play as well. Leinster lead right back up to 2. Good spot, diving save, gets it back in the air and over the net. Radical on the save from back row. Sets it up for Leduc, who'll bump it over. Set across, is set to the back. Bartles right there. Thompson going to set one up for Leduc. Good touch. Sent right back. Leduc back in the air. Thompson back for Starland. To the back line, sent high off the ceiling. Back row. Sets one down the corner line. Sent right back up. Over to the Eagles. For Carlson. Off the hands of Radical. Bartles back into play. And Leduc to the corner. Saved and set back on the run. Under the net. And the Lancers up 3. Runs over to get a piece of it. Sent right back into play. Can she get it over? Yes, she can. Received by Thompson. Starland across for Quaid. Saved in the back and set on the run. Off the hands of Radical. Quaid back up in the air for Thompson. She'll just bump it over. Big chance for the Eagles here. Set across for Stewart. Out of play. And timeout by the Eagles. 11-7. 4-point lead for the Lancers for the first timeout. And we are back from the timeout, 11-7. Radical back to serve once again as Schaller enters in here in the second set for Starland. Schaller once again, a very nice night on JV. We'll see what she brings to the match here. Save tie and set back on the run. To the back and out of play. That was Schmidt who sent it long. And now a 5-point Lancer lead. Dug up and set on the right side. Good touch over. Leduc will set back to get it. Back across for Schaller. And she'll set one to the back. Close to the net. Touched back. Bumped across. And sent over. Bartles there once again. And was 4 hits on the Eagles. Wasn't called for a second. Coach Lau told him, mix up the signals. In the end, it is Lancer point off of 4 hits on the Eagles. And that was 6-point Lancer lead. Received in the back and set center. Tipped in the hands of Quaid, and that'll be a lift off the net. And it's back to a 5-point game. Boxel and Sterry will enter with Boxel back to serve. To the corner, Schaller's there. Thompson back up for Leduc. To the back, sent high. On the run, gonna have to just bump it over. Big chance for the Lancers. Set for Leduc. Off the net, was it touched? They're gonna say it was. Back for Schaller. Touch out of play! Schaller making her presence known early as the Lancers go up by 6. Starland back in for Schaller, and it'll be Starland back to serve. Touch tie in the back and be sent back into play. And bumped over by Schmidt. Received by Bartles. Set center. Gets over the net. Eagles weren't ready for it. Now to the back. Just out of play. Very close on that back line. Just goes far enough as the Lancers go up 7. Off the net. Received by Schmidt. Set back on the run for Sterry. Diving save by Radical. Back in the air from Starland. Thompson in the back. Untouched out of play. Eagles got it back down to 6. And it'll be Stewart back to serve. Down to the corner, Leduc is there. Set back for Quaid. Good touch over the net, it drops one down. 7-point game now. Gergel will enter in for Quaid, and it'll be Gergel back to serve. Touch close to the net, set back across on the run, and out of play. Try to go skied it just a tad bit, about a foot off that back line. As the Lancer lead goes right back to 8. Bumped up high, middle miscommunication, not going to get it over. And now a 9-point Lancer lead. Into the net, going to go right back to the Eagles as they find double digits now with an 8. Kazumba entering in for the first time tonight for Gergel. To the back, received by Radical. Starlin sets one up for Thompson. Off the net, diving save. Sets one back across, gonna fade away to get it off the net. Leduc tries to get it back in the air. Leduc pumps it up and gets it over to the back, under the corner line. Great effort by the Lancers, but set right up for the Eagles. And drops it down perfectly as they bring themselves back within 7, 18-11. And it's Schmidt back to serve again. Received center by Radical. Set up for Bartles. Good touch over the net. And Eagles in the net. Lancers go back up by 8 as Koenig enters in for Bartles. Leduc now back to serve. Set high center. On the run is Carlson. Set right back by Koenig. Back on the run. Blocked at the net again. And that one going to drop down. 20-11 and the Lancers lead it by 9. To the back corner. Drops down on the line. An ace for Leduc. And the Lancers now within 10. Luke back once again, just 4 points away. Right to the back, saved and set up back row, and into the net. 11-point Lancer lead, 22-11. And now Larson gonna enter back in for Koenig. Luke down the line, received. Sets one back on the run, blocked at the net. And Lancers now up 12. To the back, and that one gonna go long. 23-12, Eagles get it back. Down now by 11. Seibel gonna enter in for Leduc. .23 and 30 will enter Ridgeway and Creighton, with Creighton heading back to serve. To the back, received by Seibel. Thompson sends one back on the run for Larson. Miscommunication. She backed away. Radical's going to let her take it. And ends up dropping down as the game brings itself within 10. Into the net, and the Lancers just 1 point away now. 24-13, an 11-point lead. And it'll be Thompson back to do it. Off her hands, going to send one back close to the net. Blocked at the net, saved once again. Set back. Off the net, received by Radical. Thompson sets one back for Radical off the net. Lunging save. Sets one back. To the back. Zemba back in the air. Seibel readjusts and gets it over. Set up center. To the back. Out of play. The Lancers in the net. And the game continues. (24-14). Eagles going to need 10 straight to keep this one going. Back to do it will be Carlson. Straight at Kazemba. Set up for Radical. Off the ceiling, and that'll do it. 25-14. Lancers win it by 11. And now up 2 sets to none. 25-18 and 25-14. Chance to end it in the next set. We'll be back in 3 minutes. And we are back for the third set. Lancers winning the first one 25-18, the second 25-14. Trying to finish it off in 3. to improve their conference record to 3-0 and overall to 6-2. Starting off the third set will be Creighton on the serve. Received by Leduc. Set across for Koenig. To the back corner, running save. Set back across. Blocked, but onto the Lancers side by Koenig. And Eagles will start off with a 1-0 lead. Down the line, received by Leduc. Set across for Thompson. Cross court, saved. Set back, and into the net. Lancers tied up at 1. And it's Leduc back to serve. Off the net. Readjusted and saved. Set center. Over the block and into the hands of Leduc. 2-1 Eagle lead. Carlson back with a 1-point lead, received by Leduc. Set across for Radicola. Touch to the net, dropping down. Stewart can't make it there in time, and the Lancers tied up at 2. Thompson back to serve for the Lancers. Received and set back row. Onto the net. And the Lancers back up by 1. Dug up on the back and a set one across on the run for Stewart. Through the defense and drop it down on the back line. Eagles take a 1-point lead. And now Carlson back to serve. Off the net. No one there to get it. And the Eagles drop down an ace. To the back, Gurgles there. Bump back up for Radical. Good touch along the net line and off the hands of Stewart and under the net. Ties up the game at 4 as Bartles and Quaid enter for Koenig and Gurgle. Skimming off the top of the net, gonna set one back center. To the back line and drops it down. 5-4, the Eagles up 1. Boxall and Sterry will enter, and it'll be Boxall back to serve. Off the net, Radical readjusts, set back for Quaid to the back line, and touched out of play. Five, the Lancers tie it right back up. It'll be Radical back with a chance to give him a lead. Dug up in the back. Gonna set one across and into the net. Lancers take a 1-point lead, 6-5. To the corner, diving save. Going to set one back on the run. And out of play. 7-5 now. Dug up in the back. Running over to help is Boxall from back row into the net once again. Lancers up by 3, 8-5. Good spot from Radical. Dug up. Going to set one across. And it's a Radical off the ceiling. Bartles readjusts, but off into the Lancer section. As the Lancers drop down with an up 2. Received by Starlin. Set across for Leduc on the run. Blocked at the net. Radical back up for Starlin. Good touch. Lunging save. Gonna set one back to the opposite side. Down the line. And was 4 hits on the Lancers beforehand. Wasn't called. Regardless, it would end up being Eagles point anyway. As they bring it back within 1. Off the net and can't get its way over. Lancers go back up by 2, 9-7. Starlin back and gonna send one long. Gives it right back to the Eagles, back within 1. And it's Schmidt now back to serve. Off the hands of Radical to the floor. An ace for Schmidt, and we're tied at 9. Received by Radical. Set across for Thompson. Blocked at the net. Back in the air by Radical. Starlin back across for Quaid on the run. To the back corner. Sent high and back into play. And touched the back. Radical there once again. Starlin sends one back up for Thompson. Saved in the back. Set across back row. Back to the hands of Radical. Good touch by Starlin. Readjusts and set back center. Touch to the far back. Bartles retreats. Starlin back across. Thompson into the nets. And a 1-point Eagle lead, 10-9. Far back, Radical lets it go, and it's dropping down on the back line. An ace for the Eagles. And they're up by 2, 11-9. Good spot, running save by Leduc, saved nothing up by Starlin. Leduc back over. Boxall sends one back for Stewart. Plunging save by Bartles. Back up center for Leduc. Right back to the hands of Stewart. Set back on the run. Back corner, Starlin's there. Quaid gonna send him to the far back and dropping it down. Good spot from Quaid. And the Lancers back within 1. Gurgle now in for Quaid. And it'll be Gurgle back to serve. Dug up and set back center. Into the net. And we're tied at 11. Gurgle sends into the net. And the Eagles maintain a 1-point lead. 23 and 30 will enter Ridgeway and Creighton. And it'll be Ridgeway back to serve. Sorry, Creighton back to serve. To the back, received by Radical. Set for Thompson. Good spot off the hand, sent back and around the umpire. It ends up going down on the Lancer side, but out of play. 12-12. Being back in for Bartles. And it'll be Thompson back to serve. To the back, sent high off the ceiling. Back up and bump back center. Gurgle sends one high. Thompson across for Radical. Tipped out of play. They're going to say no touch, and ends up going to the Eagles. Dug up by Starland. Set across for Radicola. That one out of play. And Lancers tie it back up at 13. Thompson back to serve for the Lancers, trying to get him a lead. Received down the line, gonna set one back center. Dug up by Gurgle. Thompson across for Radical. Slips and ends up sending it short. And a timeout, they're gonna go clean that up, as Radical, before she launched up in the air, ended up slipping. This is why she sent it short. And gonna wipe up that spot really quick. And we will continue 14-13, a 1-point Eagle lead. Received by Radical in the back. Thompson across for Radical. Blocked at the net. It drops back down on the Lancer side. Brings them back up now by 2. And they're going to ask for the towel again. And a timeout by the Lancers beside. 15-13, a 2-point Eagle lead here in the first set. Back from the timeout, 15-13. The Eagles with a 2-point lead after dropping the first 2 sets, 25-18 and 25-14. Trying to keep themselves alive and force a 4th set, as Lancers look to keep this one close and try to end it in 3. As number 3 Carlson will head back to serve. Received by Radical. Set back for Radical. Tipped to the nets and dropping it down. Lancers bring themselves back within 1. 15-14. Bartles now in for Koenig along with Quaid for Gurgle. And it's Bartles back to serve. Into the nets. And the Eagles go right back up by 2. Boxell and Sterry will enter. And it'll be Boxell back to serve. Back for Radical. Set for Quaid. Touch of the net, it drops down on the line. 16-15, and it's a 1-point game. And it's Radical now back to serve for the Lancers, trying to tie it up. Good spot. Lunging save. Gonna set one up center. Blocked to the net by Quaid. Lancers tied up at 16. Set back from the corner. Gonna set one all the way across for Sterry. Thompson will set it up in the air. Back up for Leduc on the run to the back line. Back up center. This time gets through, but out of play. 17-16. Lancers now up by 1. Radical trying to continue now on a 3-0 run. Good spot, and Radical drops down an ace. 18-16, and Schaller gonna enter for Starland. And they're gonna ask for the towel once again. Same spot. Sends one higher to the ceiling, won't touch. Back across for Sterry. Blocked at the net, tip back, on the Lancers side, Quaid gets it back over. Set back center. Off the net, Leduc is there. Set back for Leduc. Touch to the net, out of play. 19-16. Lancers up 3 in a 5-0 run. And we got a timeout by the Eagles, down 3. Back from the timeout, 19-16. Lancers up 3 on a 5-0 run from Radical. Looking for the 20s here. Set back, fading away, cross court, dropping down in the corner. Brings them right back within 2. And now Stewart back to serve. Dug up by Bartles. Set center for Quaid. Saved in the corner. Sends him back and gonna get it over. Thompson back. Leduc again. Finishes it off. Lancers in the 20s up 3. And now it's Schaller back to serve for the Lancers, just 5 points away. Had a couple big runs in the JV game, first time serving at Varsity here. To the back, just out of play. And now Starlin back in for Schaller. And it'll be Schmidt back to serve, back within 2. Received by Radical. Set center for Leduc. Down the line, and she's got it. Got a hand on it, but not enough, and the Lancers go up 3 with Gurgle entering in for Quaid. Sent close to the net, and ends up going over with the Eagles now back within 2. And heading back to serve will be Creighton. the back, received by Radical. Starling on the run, gonna get one back. Thompson fading away, can't get a whole hand on it. And now a 1-point game, 21-20. Chance to tie it up here for the Eagles. Creighton back to do it. Received by Radical. Starling across for Thompson. Off the net, it dropped it down. Rolling along down the line. And Lancers now up 2. Hitting in for Bartles. And it's Luke back to serve, just needs 3. Down center, gonna set one up middle. Off the net, lunging save by Radical. Set for Radical. Off the hands, and out of play. 23-20, a 3-point game. To the back, close to the net, gonna send one back, and bumped over. Received by Luke. Thompson up for Radical. Knocked down another! And the Lancers just 1 point away. 24-20, a 4-point game. And it's Luke with a chance to win it. Receives back center. Sets one up close to the net, gonna touch one back. Radical in that dive, getting one back over. Set back center once again. Touch the side, diving save by Leduc. Back across now to the side, off the net, it drops down the line. Eagles bring it back within 3, 24-21. And now back to serve will be Carlson. Gonna need 3 straight to keep this one going. Received by Leduc. Thompson gonna set one up for Radical. Good spot, touch back. Back over the net, received by Starland. Thompson, good fake over the net, tip back, and drops it down! What a play from Thompson! And the Lancers win it by 4, 25-21. In 3 sets once again, as they will improve to 3-0 in conference and 5-6-2 on the year. And the Lancers staying strong here tonight. The cross-country team ended up coming in first. Eberhard came in first with their whole varsity team coming in top 10. Very nice night for them. Very nice night here as well. We will see you on Saturday for our McDonald tournament, starting at about 8 a.m. Should be ending at around 6. And then next week, 2 big away games, starting off at Melrose on Tuesday. Lancers win it in 3 sets. Now 6-2 on the year.